It's a fabulous view here, anyway.
Yeah, isn't it, love?
So I hear you've just come back from the Côte d'Azur, Tim. How was that? Was everything open? Was it a good trip?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they're making a great effort down there. I was actually around the corner on the Italian Riviera as well.
Fantastic.
And, restaurants are open, terraces are there, bars are open, masks are being worn, queues are, well organised, and, it's fun.
Good. It was a bit busy and plenty of people around?
People around, having fun. The atmosphere was lovely, very holiday-like.
Oh, good.
But because numbers are down hugely. So in Portofino, it was as if the clock had been turned back 50 years. Really, I've got to say, delightful. The resort towns there and on the Côte d'Azur have more local tourists there. So the atmosphere is very much more of the place. So there are more French in the Côte d'Azur and Italians on the holiday in the Riviera, and it really makes the character come out even more. It's really good fun.
More an authentic trip then.
Really, yes.
Fabulous.
It really was.
Excellent. And the trip, and how was the travel actually out to the Côte d'Azur? How was that?
Well, we were all a little bit nervous.
Yes.
You feel like you're pioneering something new, but of course it's brilliantly organised. Masks were being worn, separations observed. Everyone was very careful, so I've got to say I felt very safe.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And you felt there were plenty of precautions that had been in place in the air throughout the airports on both sides, presumably.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw the passengers themselves were taking things seriously. There was a lot of hand sanitising going on en route. And in the aircraft, no pushing and shoving, quite pleasant. People were just fully swathed. Some were wearing gloves, but masks, of course. The risk is a very personal assessment, risk of travel. Most of us have businesses at home that need serious attention at the moment. How exposed do we feel? How our family and friends travelling with us? How much at danger are we? And so I think every individual has to look at that themselves. I mean, we can help with this because the difference with Global Artichoke is that we listen to the whole picture, the needs and the whole background of the client's situation, and we'll assume that risk and make the right decisions and recommendations based on it.
As a result of the COVID situation?
I don't think so. Right now, of course, there are differences, but I believe this will make people consider even more carefully their next trip. We are doing some big trips that we've been talking to clients about for a long time because they've had the opportunity to think, well, let's get on with it. Other than that, no, I think travel will be appreciated even more, for having had it off the agenda for this time. Good.
And perhaps, as you say, people will have a more authentic experience of their travel destination when they arrive.
Well, certainly at the moment, I would encourage people to get on with it. Especially the Mediterranean trip, which is easy for Brits now. Sadly, our US clients are going to have a bit more trouble, and in Australia, of course, our hearts go out to those in Victoria being locked down. But you're talking around a European perspective. It's great at the moment.
Fantastic. That's a great endorsement. And what would you say would be the perfect lockdown? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming sort of Mediterranean locations currently, but what would be you would suggest the perfect lockdown destinations?
Well, we're booking these at the moment, and I would kind of call it the Great Escape after having been locked up for a period. So we're talking longish haul, medium haul to Africa and Indonesia for the big, wide open natural history experience. Mm-hmm. So safari in Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, Botswana, mm-hmm. And the Indian Ocean, Madagascar was just getting ready to really open up. The Sao Tome and Principe Islands, It's like Jurassic Park in the Atlantic. You feel safe when you're there, the big outdoors. It's a natural experience with animals and nature, which is not affected by the virus. They really don't know anything about it, and gives you that feeling of release. I think that everyone's after.
Good. Fabulous. Nice to be out in the open air and out in the wild in many cases.
For sure. I mean, also, of course, the mountains are beautiful in the summer, and the Icelandic experience, the retreat at Blue Lagoon, superb, and the mountain spa resort hotel, which is fun at any time of year. But I think right now, bit of exercise, bit of fresh air. Yeah, I mean, it's ideal at the moment.
Fabulous. And are there any particular hot properties? I mean, people have had a lot of time, in theory, to be doing developments and working on different locations. Are there particular places that you would suggest would be?
Yeah, I mean, it's true, of course. I mean, it all depends on the the kind of balance sheet of the company involved, because obviously these times have been difficult, but a lot has been going on. Our hearts go out to, for example, Monsieur Georges, that was just opening on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, really having their launch in March. But it's a fantastic, the new Anuska Hempel property, they're ready to go, raring to go. Several others were just getting going when this hit them, and were coming into their first proper high season. And I would include Miavana on Madagascar, this amazing contemporary build on a beautiful nature reserve and marine reserve. There's several more. I mean, just off the top of my head, these are a couple that I would really concentrate.
Fabulous, and presumably they're looking much more refreshed and revived as a result of having a bit of a downtime in the last 4 or 5 months.
Well, yes. I mean, you can imagine the welcome you're going to get at any of these properties. When you get there, it's true. I mean, almost all of the properties we use, are in great shape, organisational, financial anyway. So they have used this time wisely. Soho House Group, for example, I mean, I think they've redecorated every address they've got and are still going for, the couple of openings they had in the pipeline, at the end of last year. So, yeah, you can rest assured you're going to get, a glowing welcome wherever you choose to go next.
Great. Well, we look forward to getting back out and travelling the world and seeing the sights and the fabulous locations.
Yeah, no, you should. I'm going to go down to the Balearics next week. Have a look at Mallorca and Ibiza, and let you know what's going on there.
It'd be great to hear how they are as well, and we can all follow suit.
It's fun, isn't it?
Thanks very much.
Grab one of these.
Well, cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.